Hello, 8th graders! Welcome back to another learning session with me, Ma'am Nika.
One, two, three, four.
Our topic for this morning is about recognizing positive and negative messages conveyed in a text. Writers and speakers differ in style in terms of delivery and composition. Our choice of words, tone, and voice are just few of the elements that make or break their piece. These things make a huge difference in making the message clear or vague to an audience. As the receiver of these messages, it is important that you are able to distinguish the kind of messages you are about to receive or are receiving. In this lesson, you are expected to recognize positive and negative messages conveyed in a text. Can you guess the message and or emotions embedded in each image? Is it positive or negative? The first photo shows sad or negative feeling. It shows rejection. While the other picture shows a positive or happy feeling because it clearly shows that the girl accepts the proposal of his or her boyfriend. What is the difference between positive and negative messages? A positive message is a type of communication that provides good news, acceptance, or congratulations in the workplace. Messages that show thanks, provide recommendation, motivation, or encouragement are examples of positive messages. Meanwhile, when we say negative messages, these are a type of communication that conveys a negative or unpleasant information that is likely to disappoint, upset, or even anger a reader. It is also called an indirect message. Can you please get your notebook and identify the kind of message that each statement conveys? Before we go through deeper with our discussion, I want to know if you have or if you are already familiar with a positive message and a negative message. Okay, so number 1, here I have given 10 questions for you to answer. And you may start answering now. Okay, who wants to answer number 1? The sentence is, we have not been seeing a great deal of each other lately. And this message is a negative message. That is correct. Okay, number 2, the police concluded that the security system had been working properly. Okay, the answer in number 2 is positive message. How about in number 3? I am not doing enough. That's right. This is a negative message. Number 4, you know you have something to offer. If you don't, you would not be here. This message is a positive message. Number 5, if you want to change the world, you have to take the leap. The answer for number 5 is yes, that's positive. Number 6, all our efforts will be useless. This is an example of a negative message. Yes. Number 7, you cannot even express your own emotions. This is an example of a negative message. That is correct. Number 8, they did their job well. Sentence number 8 is a positive message. Number 9, we can do this. Okay, that is right. This is also a positive message. And last, number 10, every step, little as it may be, is progress. This is also a positive message. Now, how many of you got 10? Okay, very good. Okay, so to continue our discussion about positive and negative message, it's also important that we know what are the signal words and expressions commonly used to express positive messages. So we have here the signal words and expressions like thank you, I appreciate the effort. I value and respect your opinion.
So
A
when to
million
use
thanks,
this?
you're
This
such
is
a
when
blessing.
expressing our gratitude. For example, I appreciate your effort in providing for our family. The word appreciate your effort gives us a sense of positive message. Another one is, you taught me how to be selfless. You're such a blessing. And both of these sentences expresses a positive message.
Now let us have signal words and expressions commonly used to express naman negative messages. The signal words or expression are as follows: neither, never, no one, nobody, not, none, nor, nothing, nowhere, no way, not at all, not possible. And when to use this is to use when conveying negative expression or negation. And examples of negative messages are like, you will never win against me. No one believes your explanation. So these are examples of negative messages. Signals and expressions commonly used to express positive messages. The signal words and expressions like hi, hello, good morning, good evening, Godspeed, nice to see you, welcome, you're welcome. When to use this? This is when you give greetings or well wishes. Examples are continue to help other people, Godspeed. Welcome to my party, nice to see you. Also, when we want to express anger or disagreement, we can make use of the signal words or expression like disagree. I don't think so. Doubt. That's impossible. Example sentences are, I doubt your loyalty. I disagree with your opinion. Yan. These are example of negative messages. And when we are expressing our disappointment, you can make use of signal words or expressions like feeling bitter, I am disappointed, dismayed, sad to say. So the example sentences for this are, I am disappointed with the result of the test. Lorraine feels bitter every time her sister receives recognition. So just keep in mind that although there are times that we cannot avoid saying negative things, it is still important to be respectful and consider the feelings of the person that you are talking to. Now let's go to another topic, which is the tone. What is a tone and what does it do with our messages? So tone refers to the emotion or attitude that the writer embeds in writing. It gives more context beyond the words used. So how does it work? You see, the words on the page interpret their meaning. And this meaning add a layer of emotional context. This create the concept of a message as to being positive or negative. So, it's really important when you say something, 'di ba? Yung tono, paano mo to sinabi? Ano yung tono na kino-convey mo dun sa kausap mo? So, writers use tone words to establish a message. These are words that make the author's opinion on the subject matter known because they make the tone either positive or negative. For example, in the conversation of a teacher and a student, the teacher said, you made an A on the test. Student, oh, that's an incredible news. So we can decipher that the tone of the student is positive. That's right. We can identify that the tone of the student is positive. In the conversation number 2, the teacher said, you made an A on the test. Student replied, I did. And we can identify that the tone of the student is skeptical. And in number 3 conversation, you made a B on the test. The student responded, of course, I knew it. The student tone is sarcastic. And in the last part, you made a pathetic C on the test. So the tone of maybe the teacher is in a negative because the student got C on the test. So, what are the positive tone words and what are the negative tone words? Of course, we can make use of many different words or description, but these are examples of positive tone words such as benevolent, sympathetic, tolerant, generous, caring, well-meaning, candid, truthful, straightforward, honest, unreserved, celebratory, praising, glorify, honor, diplomatic, tactful, sensitive, thoughtful, formal, respect, factual, joyful, positive, and optimistic. Meanwhile, we also have a negative tone words such as aggressive, hostile, forceful, argumentative, aggrieved, indignant, annoyed, offended, disgruntled, angry, enraged, threatening, menacing, apathetic, indifferent, unemotional, arrogant, disdainful, overbearing, condescending, vain, scoffing. So, did you understand our topic for this lesson? So, if you have already understand the message, can you please differentiate positive and negative messages? Anyone? So again, when we say positive messages, these are a type of communication that provides good news, acceptance, or congratulations in the workplace or wherever it is. While negative messages include things such as refusals, rejects, recalls, announcements of policies that will not benefit the audience, requests the audience will see as insulting or intrusive, negative performance appraisal, disciplinary notices, and apologies. So now that you fully know the difference between positive and negative message, ayan, I want you to answer brain gym. Yan. Directions, write like in your notebook if the news is positive. Otherwise, write dislike if the message is in negative. So for number 1, Ilocos region logs 35 new COVID-19 cases in 1 week. Okay, identify if this is a positive or a negative message. Okay, for number 2, a news from Philippine Star. It's bound to be a beautiful weekend via Philstar Life. Is it a positive or a negative? For number 3, from Philstar Life again, a friendly reminder before you book a trip to Jeju-do and Yangyang. South Korea to reopen visa-free entry to Jeju Island and Yangyang starting June 1, but there's a catch for Filipino tourists. Is it a positive or a negative news? Number 4, okay, the post of Jason Hernandez on his Facebook account regarding their marriage of Moira de la Torre. Okay, and last one, we have oil prices rise after EU bans most Russian oil imports. Is it a positive or a negative message? So let's check your answers. Number 1, the answer is dislike. Number 2, like. Number 3, dislike. 4, like. And of course, number 5, dislike. Okay? Now let's answer learning task number 2 in your notebook. So copy the statements below, then underline the words that made each negative. Okay, that's 1 to 10. I'll give you 15 minutes.
Okay, so now let's start answering learning task number 2. For number 1, he likes participating in the games. He is so hyperactive. The underlined word that made this sentence a negative one is hyperactive. Okay, now for number 2, the negative. Our exam yesterday was extremely difficult. The underlined word should be extremely difficult. Number 3, my cousin was so chatty that we slept very late last night. The underlined word is so chatty. Number 4, Maria was cheap for buying these second-hand bags. The underlined words is was cheap. Number 5, Jason uses only a metal straw to drink. He is weird. The underlined word is weird. Number 6, she has grown up to be a nerd since she just likes to study all the time. The negative word is a nerd. Number 7, Arang, our toddler neighbor, asks a lot of questions. She is so nosy. The underlined word is nosy. Number 8, Jessica stays late every night reading books about philosophy. She has become more elderly than her age. The negative here is more elderly than her age. Okay, next, number 9. The gifts Nathan gave to his workers were extravagant. The negative here is extravagant. Last, number 10, our new teacher is annoying. The negative here is annoying. Okay, count the number of correct. Very good, everyone. I can see that you have learned our lesson for today. So to recap our discussion for today, again, a positive message is a message to which we expect a positive response from the reader, while negative messages include message where the audience is expected to react in a negative manner. Don't forget tone. Tone refers to the emotion or attitude that the writer embeds in writing. It gives more context beyond the words used. So, they interpret their meaning and add a layer of emotional context which create the concept of a message as to being positive or negative. So for your assignment, I want you to write a reflection note on the importance of identifying whether the embedded message in a text is positive or negative. I want you to do this on your notebook. Okay? So ayun na nga, this is the end of our learning session. Di ba napakadali? Identifying positive and negative messages. Basic na basic ang ating topic for today. Sana ay marami kayong natutunan. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!